Hey everybody, DBS TCG Central here. Welcome to another deck profile video. If you saw today's thumbnail, you saw today that we're doing Tien Shinhan Mysterious Technique. So this guy is a really cool green leader. He came out in the Evolution Booster, and it has some support, some old support, but it also came out with some new stuff. And he's real interesting for a green leader. He's pretty strong, especially the cards that are held inside the deck that make the engine work and stuff like that. So quickly, I'll show you what he does, and I'll show you how the deck works. So on its unawakened side, he's Tien Shinhan. When this card attacks, draw one card, then add up to one card from your life to your hand. Active made, add up to one green Chiaotzu card with 5,000 power or less from your deck to your hand. Shuffle your deck and then negate this skill for the duration of the game. When your life is at 4 or less, you may play 3 multiform tokens in your battle area. Multiform tokens, they have 10,000 power, 0 combo cost, and 5,000 combo power. Switch up to one of your energy to active mode and flip this card over. So it's a unique awakening. Instead of drawing, you would play 3 multiform tokens, which are pretty strong. They're 10k attackers, so if you really need to rush your opponent out, they're good. You could also use them for combo, for protection. So it's really cool. And then you untap one of your energy. So it's a unique awaken, but it's cool because he does this multi-form technique in the show. So it's so cool. So Tien Shinhan, Mysterious Technique. Auto, when this card attacks, draw one card, and then this card gets 5,000 power for the battle. So when he attacks, he's automatically a 20k, which is really cool. If you have a total of 3 Tien Shinhan cards slash multi-form tokens in play in your battle area. When this card attacks, choose up to one of your opponent's cards with energy cost 4 or less and KO it. And then this card gets critical for the turn. So he turns into, if you have enough TNs or multi-form tokens out, he turns into a 20k critical, and you can KO something every time you attack. So really strong. He's got a lot of removal inherently just for the deck, just for that ability. And I'll show you exactly how we get the TNs out and what's going on with this deck. So first of all, his ability that you can negate for the game after you use it is you can get a Chiaotzu. We run 2 different Chiaotzus. The one of them being an older one. It's Best Buddy Chiaotzu here. So when you combo with this card during your turn, so on your turn, choose up to 1 Tien Shinhan trading moves in your battle area, and you can switch it to active mode. So this is for a little more aggression. We do run that Tien in this deck, and I'll show you how we sneak them out. And this is just another option in case you already have the other Chiaotzu in your hand and you want to make use of this card here. So also, we play it for 1, just in case we need to have more World Tournament on the board to do a certain ability I'll show you in a little bit. But the next Chiaotzu that we run is Chiaotzu Unwanted Reunion. So this is one of the new cards that came out in the Evolution Booster to support the deck. It's a blocker. So commonly, turn 1, you'll do this ability if you don't have it in your hand already. You'll grab it, and you'll play it on your turn 1 with your open green energy, and then you'll have a blocker for your opponent's turn. And then what his ability is here is auto. If your leader is a green Tien Shinhan card, when this card is KO'd, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, play up to 1 green Tien Shinhan card with energy cost of 3 from your deck, and then shuffle your deck. The card you played with this skill can't attack until the end of your next turn. So it plays a Tien Shinhan. I'll show you exactly which one with an energy cost of 3 into your battle area, and it can't attack for the turn, just because it's super strong. That's just in case it gets KO'd on your turn. But the one that we play, the 3-drop, is the Tien Shinhan trading moves here. So he's got barrier. So once he comes out, he won't be able to attack, but he'll have barrier, so he'll have some protection. He's a 15k, once per turn, active main. Choose up to 1 Mercenary Tau trading moves in your battle area and KO it. If your leader is a green World Tournament, which it is, switch this card to active mode. And for the duration of the turn, this card gains 5,000 power and double strike for the turn. So he's a 20k double strike when we have a mercenary Tau come out that I'll show you how we sneak out also. So this guy is the one we play with this Chiaotzu here. So that's one little combo. And it happens a lot of the time. If your opponent attacks, you just block with that, take a life. It kind of self-awakens you at the same time. And then another card that came out in the evolution booster here is Mercenary Tau defending confidence. I mean, overflowing confidence. So here is auto. He's got one. First of all, he's got an active main part right down here. So active main for 1 green energy. If you have a green world tournament card in play, play this card from your hand and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost of 1 or less and KO it. That's just an added bonus. You can't activate the active main skill of copies of this card for the turn. So you can only do this like once per turn. It's almost like a limit one. And so up here on the top, it's got an auto. And if you, for 1 green energy, you can place this card in its owner's drop area. And when this card deals damage to your opponent by attacking, play up to 1 mercenary Tau card with an energy cost of 4 from your deck with its skills negated for the turn, and then shuffle your deck. So there's a few things with this card. So first of all, if you have a Green World Tournament out, you could pay 1 energy and you could play this guy. So he's a 15k attacker, which is good, especially early game. Then if you do damage to one of your opponents, you can pay 1 green energy, put this card in your drop area, and go get this guy here. We run 2 of them. Mercenary Tau trading moves. So it'll put him out with his skills negated, so he will not have double strike. He'll be a 20k, but when you play this card and your lead card is a Green World Tournament, Tien and Tien Shinhan trading moves is in play in your battle area, your opponent chooses 3 cards in their hand and places them in your drop area. So these skills are negated for the turn, but he'll come out. So turn 1, oof, can't even get it. Turn 1, you'll play this guy. Your opponent will attack, you'll block. This will die. And then when that dies, it'll bring out this guy. He can't attack, but he's got barrier, so you'll still have a world tournament out. And then you can play this guy the next turn for 1 green energy, attack, do damage, pay another green energy, then put this guy out on your next turn. So you'll attack, and then you'll have this guy out here. He'll be a 15k double. Well, you put him out, and then he'll have his skills negated, but if you get rid of him, with this ability here, if you place one of these mercenary Taus in your drop area, you could attack with him first, obviously. And then kill him. It'll restand him and give him double strike. So he'll have a 15k attack, and then he'll restand and he'll have dual attack. Dual attack, basically, and then he'll have a double strike attack plus 5k. He'll be a 20k double strike. Then, if you have this guy in your hand, and you just combo with him, then you can also restand him again, and he'll be another 20k double strike. So a little bit of aggression. This is more of like a mid-range build here, so you're doing it as you need to create more aggression. It doesn't have to be right off the bat, but it's an option if you need it. Another card that we run to help the deck out, we run 3 Launch the Wild One. So this is one of the unisons that we run here. We also run 3 other ones. It's got an active main for 2 energy. If your leader card is a heroine card, you can play this card from your hand with 2 markers on it, but our leader is green, so we can just play the green energy for it, so that ability doesn't matter. +1 active main. Look at the top 5 cards at the top of your deck. You can add up to 1 world tournament or heroine card from among them to your hand, and then you can shuffle your deck. So obviously it's a draw one, a +1 draw one, which is really strong in this deck because we run a lot of world tournament cards here, so we're never really going to whiff on that. It's -1 active main. Choose up to any number of your opponent's battle cards, which total energy adds up to 3 or less, and you can KO them. So if you need to get rid of some pesky stuff that's building up, you just -1 this thing, and you can pretty much do like a little board wipe for a bunch of 1 drops or 2 drops or something like that. So some of the cards that we could search out for with that card, this guy, this is basically acts as our aggression, self-wakener, and the other part of this is a board wipe, but I'll start with this here. It is Son Goku, long-awaited rematch, so unique barrier, so you only have 1 in your battle area at a time, but you want to see it, you know. It's got barrier, so it's safe when it's out. If your opponent has 3 or more energy and you have a Tien Shinhan long-awaited rematch in play in your battle area, this card gets plus 10,000 power and triple strike. So we'll get back to that and how he does that in a second. But he's got an auto for 1 green energy. If all of your energy is green and you have a green battle card in play, you can play this card for 1 energy. So he's a 1 energy 15k attacker with barrier. And if you have this guy out here, which I love him so much, Tien Shinhan, a long-awaited rematch. If you have this guy out here, if your opponent has 3 or more energy, he gets triple strike, and he gets 10k. So he's a 25k triple strike if this guy's out and your opponent has 3 or more energy. And this guy himself, deflect, so he's always going to come down, and his auto is always going to go off. So deflect, double strike, permanent. This card can't be played from any other area other than its any other skills other than its own. So you can only play him for the active main down here. There's no way you can cheat him out. But when this card is played, choose all of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 5 or less and KO them. So it is a board wipe for anything 5 or less. So it's really, really strong. And also it's a 20k double strike. So also strong and nothing to gawk at. And then when he's out, while he's out, then this guy is getting triple strike and 10k. So it makes this guy a 25k triple strike. So a lot of stuff going on with these two. Active main for 2 green. If you have a Son Goku long-awaited rematch in play, you can play this card from your hand. So he only comes out for 2 energy, board wipes, creates a triple attacker, triple strike, 25k in the process, but also he's a double strike attacker, 20k. So really strong combo, really, really strong. And they're all searchable from the Unison card here. So really, really good. They're really consistent too. 2 other green World Tournament cards that we run here. King Piccolo, Limitless Power. So it's got double strike and it's got an active main. If you have 4 or more energy, you may choose up to 2 World Tournament cards in your battle area, negate their skills for the duration of the turn, and place them in their owner's drop area. And if you do, you could play this card from your hand without paying its energy cost. And then you can't do another copy of this card for the turn. So basically, it's like pretty much a overwhelm, but you would just get rid of 2 of your World Tournament cards. Maybe when you're going for game, swing with this, get another 20k double strike attack in. So it's really good. You know, that on top of some more overwhelm that I'll show you later, just becomes really aggressive really quick. So some more searchable cards here. Searchable counters are always good. So this is Announcer Play-by-Play Pro. It's a counter attack. If your leader is a World Tournament, negate the attack, and then you can play this card. So it puts another World Tournament on the board if you need it. And then during your turn, when you play this card, if you have 2 or more World Tournament cards other than this card in play in your battle area, you can draw 2 cards. So basically, it's a pay 1, draw 2 if you have 2 World Tournament cards out on the battlefield. So it is very versatile, and we have plenty of negates in here. So if you do need to draw 2 cards quickly for 1 energy, not a problem. You can use it for that. I'll show you some more of the negates that we have and some other protection. But it's searchable, and it's really, really strong in this deck just because you could draw 2 cards for 1 energy. So you're never really low on a hand size with this deck. All right, and then the super combos we opted for. I run 3 of the Android 18 Bionic Blitz, the multicolors. So it has no energy restriction and has energy exhaust. It's super combo. If your leader is blue or green when you combo with this card from your hand, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, they put it at the bottom of their deck. So just a little added pressure to like put more cards at the bottom of their deck just helps you go for game and lessens their protection, so they can't combo with too much stuff. So I run 3 of those, and then I run 1 of these. This is actually a World Tournament card. It's a super combo. When you combo with this card, if your leader card is a World Tournament, you have a 5 or less life, you could draw 1 card, and this card gets 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. So it's a regular, just super combo. At 5 or less life, you can use it, but it's searchable with this. So sometimes if you just need to get a super combo off of it, it's good. So I just run 1 of it. It's searchable, so not a big deal. And then we get to our green good stuff. So to finish out our unisons, we run Demigra, Unison of Sorcery, really, really strong. If you need to be defensive right off the bat, you play this turn one, and then all of your counterplays and your negates that we run, that I'll show you in a little bit, become free. So it just, if you need to be, if you're getting rushed out or you really need defense early on, this is a really good card to play instead of being aggressive. So what this card does is permanent. If a card would remove a marker from this card, if an attack would do remove a marker from this card, you could add one card from your life to your hand instead. So it adds a little bit of a self-awakening for yourself, but also to protect this guy to keep all your counterplays live. It really helps. So +1, this card gets 10,000 power for the turn, so he becomes a 15k attacker, which is really good. Oops, excuse me. And for -3, active main, you can choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, KO it, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 3 or less, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So really good. Also, if you need to get rid of something with barrier that's being pesky, that's 3 or less, this card definitely helps. Anything like Agents of Destruction, that Bobby and stuff like that, that makes the deck kind of like run. If you need to kill it because it has barrier, this is a really good option early game. All right, so like I said, green good stuff. So because we run the unisons, we run Dormant Potential. This is act as a negate, but also a floodgate for us. If you don't know what it does, if you have a unison out, you could play this card without paying its mana cost, and you discard a card, and your opponent can only attack one more time for the turn. So a really cool floodgate. It really, really helps out the deck. It's really strong. We're playing mid-range, so we can be defensive but aggressive. We're not too quick, but we have giant threats that come out, like that Goku becomes a triple attack 25k and stuff like that. Counterplays, charismatic villain. If your unison has 2 or more counters on it, you can play this card without paying its energy cost, and when you play it, it's a counterplay. The card that's coming into play comes into play, and if it's 8 or less or 7 or less, you can KO it. It'll get its effects, but you won't have to worry about it attacking or anything. So it's a really good, really, really strong card. So we run 3 of those just because we're doing a lot of other stuff. Some other negates, homicidal clones. Sometimes you need to get to 4 energy to awaken, so you might get stuck at 5. And if you do, you can use this to self-awaken the rest of the way. If you have 5 or less energy, you can take a life, play this card, negate the attack, and then it plays a blocker token for the turn. Really strong. It could negate 2 attacks, so it's really good, and it also helps you self-awaken, like I said. Really good. 2 more floodgates we run just to make sure that we are floodgating enough. Majin Buu, Unadulterated Malice. So this is basically Green's Topo. If you are getting swarmed, if there's a lot of battle cards coming at you, you can play this card, discard a card, and then they can't attack. Well, they can attack if every time they attack after the initial playing this negates the attack. You discard a card, and then they can't, every time they attack for the turn afterwards, they'll have to discard 2 cards from their hand. So it's really strong. You won't see them trying to attack through this too much unless they're trying to go for game or something crazy, or they have tons of cards in their hand they want to get rid of. Some barrier removal. We run 2 Chilled the Assailant. So what this guy does is he's got deflect. When this card is played, you can play 2 Chilled Army tokens with 10,000 power. So if you want to be even more aggressive and swarmy, you can play 2. You can play this for 3 to put 2 other Chilled tokens out, and I'll show you what they do in a second. I'll show you why it's aggressive. Active main, the first part here is for 2 green. You can discard this card from your hand, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost less than or equal to the number of cards in their hand, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So this acts as some more barrier removal for 2 energy, really strong. And then active main, once per turn, choose up to 2 of your Chilled Army tokens, and they get plus 5,000 power for the turn. So if you did the first ability, you decide to play this for 3, you'll put out 2 Chilled Army tokens. They'll be 10k, but they'll both get another 5k. So this plus the 2 tokens, you put out 3 attackers one 20k and then two 15k attackers with this one card. So if you need to get some attacks in for 3 energy, you can just play this and just start swarming the board real fast with it. So really good. I run 2 of those. And then one ofs, I run another one of these guys. Like I said, it's a good overwhelm after you use that Piccolo. Where is he? Where is that guy? Right here. After you attack with all these crazy things, you know, you'll swing with this guy, double strike. This guy is a triple strike. Any of the other stuff up here, like the Mercenary Tau, the other Tien over here, and this Tien that restands when you get rid of the Mercenary Tau, any of that stuff. So say you go in hard with all your stuff, and then you KO some of your World Tournament stuff, and you play this guy. And then they got another 20k that they attack they didn't expect because all your energy might be tapped. Then after that, you can play another 20k double strike critical. You know, so it's really surprising your opponent, and it really gets them at the end, especially if you play the deck right. Like I said, it's in mid-range, a little control-y, and then aggressive, but like mid-range style. Also, a secret rare we run is the Supreme Kai of Time. If you don't know what it does, for 1 energy active battle, you could play this card, and your opponent can't attack with leader cards or unison cards for the turn. And then on your turn, active main, you can pay 1 energy and you can steal one of their battle cards, not ignoring barrier. So really strong. And this is just to help protect against some unisons, because sometimes unisons can be pesky and there's not really too much unison interactions in here with the other stuff. So I decided to throw this one in. But that's the deck. I've been playing it online. Really, really fun. I'm going to keep going with it. And then there's going to be some support coming out with the Zenkai stuff for everything. But I'm sure there's just some like green good stuff Zenkai that we could put in here and do like a nice Zenkai deck for it too. When the Zenkai set comes out, I'm going to start doing Zenkai decks for all the decks that I build. So there will be different variants in it and stuff like that, and different mechanics that we can work with, but we'll see what happens. But tell me what you guys think. I also got an eBay, an Instagram. I got a Facebook, you know. So anybody that wants to like check them out, I'm going to leave the links in the description below. Feel free to subscribe. The subscribers help, and feel free to comment. Like I said, I love the feedback from everybody. It's so great. And building a community like this and having everybody help each other in the comments is just really, really cool to me. So I hope you guys enjoy the deck profile. And the next one, I got a request for the new Cell reboot deck. So that'll probably be the next one coming out. And then after that, we're going to get into some Zenkai stuff, I'm pretty sure. So look forward to that. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.